Early days.
All right. Early days. Yeah. Keep your expectations.
Oh yeah, I mean my
realistic.
expectations are low, like for women in general. So they're just.
He's saying it from trauma, guys. All right. Not all women. Right.
Just a large majority of them.
Just your experience. And maybe mine as well, but
yeah. So there you go, 2 for 2. That's 100% on the survey of fucked up women.
No comment. Right? No comment. Small spectrum. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so what is today's topic?
Shit.
We went sidetracked a little bit.
No, yeah, sorry, we did get sidetracked a little bit. Today's topic, welcome guys, welcome to the podcast. We're having a bit of fun here. Welcome to the podcast today, guys. My name is Stav. This is Law. Welcome to Stavs Law. Today's topic, a really good one for everyone at home, listening in and watching, is all around the notion of who am I? And really when we talked about who am I, and we talked about what that really means, if we were to unpack that meaning, it would be around worthiness and identity. So today I really wanted to unpack your thoughts on probably, what do you think that means? What does worthiness mean to you? And unpack maybe how you discover who you are as a person.
I want to hear your thoughts first.
Oh shit! Why you can't just do Uno reverse?
All right, fine. All right. If we talk about identity,
Yeah.
This was a very long lesson for me.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's weird because it's like when you're younger, you don't really know who you are, right? Because you don't know what you like, what you don't like. Mm-hmm. You don't know a lot of things about yourself.
Yeah.
See, that's why I wanted to get your thoughts. Like, how does it relate to self-worthiness? For me, they're almost like two very separate topics. Almost. I'm trying to see the link.
The link between identity and worthiness? I think if you don't have a strong sense of identity, you easily lose your worthiness.
Elaborate.
So, for example, let's say you are and we're in a toxic relationship.
Yeah, I love how you're relating it back
as an example.
Oh, example.
It's just an example, hypothetical. Not saying you were in a toxic relationship.
Hypothetical. Yes.
Completely hypothetical in a toxic relationship, right? And that person puts you down. That person might physically or mentally abuse you. They might say that you're not worthy of them.
You're this, you're that.
All of that, right? If you don't have a strong sense of self and a strong sense of your boundaries, you are immediately impacted and start questioning who you are as a person. So, for example, if your partner...
Okay, you're hitting me right in the
arrow
right now. Yeah, okay, alright. Yeah,
you asked me. I'm answering.
Now I get it. Yeah, alright.
Right?
Yeah.
So... the whole point of it, and the whole point of, I guess, what I'm trying to say is if you do not completely and utterly understand yourself and love yourself and have a clear understanding of not only who you are, but the boundaries you set around you in order to ensure that external factors don't impact your worthiness and self-worth, you are dramatically impacted by external factors. So who am I? And my identity is directly impacted by how you feel about yourself from a worthiness point of view.
100%. No, 100%.
End of episode.
It's almost legit because we both agree on this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, this is the first time we're agreeing on something
wholeheartedly.
I don't know. I think so.
Yeah. No, because exactly what you said is, well, I'm not assuming. Can I assume you went through exactly what you described?
I've been through it my whole life, not just in a relationship sense.
Oh, okay.
In, for example, school.
Really? School?
Yeah, school. You know, I've always had teachers tell me or try to hold me down from, you know, going to the next grade. You know how they kind of have those conversations with you. No, of course, you're Asian, bro. You fucking
No,
knew,
it's not the
you knew
Asian.
algebra by the time you were 3, bro. Come on. Right? But yeah, these conversations happened with my parents, with my mum, sorry.
Yeah.
Where, you know, it's like, he's not doing too well, you need to hold him back. Or even when, is it year 10 when they have like career advice with you in high school? Did you ever have that where they were like, oh, what you do
Bro,
next?
we went to the same high school.
Yeah, but did you have that? I had that.
I don't remember that.
I had that. We definitely had that. This like lady, I can't remember her name.
Yeah.
She sat us down in a room and was like, so what's next for you? You know, you're going to do VCE, you're going to drop out and become a tradie.
We did have that, yeah.
Yeah. So, like, even she was like, I don't think you should be doing year 11 and 12. Like,
I see.
You're no good kind of thing.
So how did you feel?
I've just always, like, in that moment, I just felt like I'm not good enough, I'm not smart enough. And it's so strange because I know that I'm an intelligent person, right? And if you reflect on high school now as an adult, and as I reflect on it, I really realize that schooling failed me because it's not built for people like me. I'm an outside the box thinker. I've got ADHD and severe ADHD, right? So for me, sitting in a classroom with 30 other people, with someone in front of you just telling you what to do and writing, it's not the way I learn. It's not the way I learn. I'm very interactive. I bounce ideas off each other. So in a meeting, in a collaborative thinking space, I'm a genius. Because I'm able to bounce ideas off each other. I'm able to have a conversation. I don't like being spoken to. I like to have this sort of interaction, and that's how I become more intelligent, right? That's why I never bothered going to lectures when I was in university, but I went to all my tutes. Because at least then they're a bit more interactive. Even though it's still a classroom setting, a tute of 10 people versus the classrooms we had in high school of 30 to 35, they're completely different, right? So I realised that it's just not the way I learn, and schooling failed me and probably still fails a lot of people this day and age, right? I guess the point that I'm trying to make, though, is that affected my worthiness in high school. Outside of high school, the worthiness was challenged again and again. You know, even when I finished and graduated from university, which again was like, well, fuck you to all the teachers that said I couldn't become anything or not do anything, right? But after university, I applied for maybe 150 jobs, 150 internships, got none of them, right? So I just gave up. I gave up and I started working in a supermarket, you know, and then I woke up one day and I was like, nah, this is bullshit. Like, I can't keep doing this. I need to follow my dreams. Long story short, I ended up getting an admin role and then a marketing gig and then a bigger marketing gig, and then I am where I am today. But I still reflect on all of that and go, a lot of people kept saying I wasn't going to achieve. I wasn't good enough. And that's also a lot of people indirectly saying I'm not good enough, right? Because you got a lot of rejection from job applications and all of that. So there was a lot of rejection and a lot of pushback.
Resistance.
There is. And so today, if you want to get really deep.
Let's go deep.
Right? Today, I'm so proud of where I've gotten to. But I still feel like I've achieved almost nothing. I feel like I have so much more and could have achieved so much more. I say that I'm proud, but it doesn't feel like it.
I hear you.
It just doesn't feel like I've done enough, and it doesn't feel like I'm enough yet, especially when it comes to a career standpoint and a succession standpoint. And I really question if, no matter how much we achieve or I achieve, through all the projects that we're doing, through all our career, is that really ever going to provide that worthiness, or is it something that we just need to work on within ourselves? Because there's two sides to this. There are people that are happy earning fuck all money and happy just living a very sheltered life and a very simple life. And there are people that are very ambitious. Right? I believe we're pretty ambitious with what we want, and we want a little bit more in our lives. But I just feel like that comes with this endless cycle of, are we ever actually going to be happy with what we achieve? A very long-winded answer to whatever question you asked earlier. I've just gone off on a fucking tangent.
I just asked you to explain, and yeah, no, you explained it really well.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I can see you tearing up again.
Yeah, sorry. I'm just gonna drink my coffee.
Are we gonna cry every episode?
Maybe. Maybe.
But it sounds like a very long journey for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. For you to realize your own self-worth.
And I still feel like I'm figuring it out. I
Yeah.
still feel like, yeah, I know I'm a good person and I'm great and good looking and funny looking and all of those wonderful things, but yeah, I don't know. Like, how do you feel about this? How do you feel, you've worked on some amazing projects, you've had success in your life. How do you feel about what I've just said? Do you feel like we're just always just constantly looking for that next big success or that next thing? Because let me tell you something, right? You've achieved things in your life that you thought would make you happy. You've already achieved those things. Are you happy?
I don't think I've achieved those things.
You don't feel
I
like
came
you've
close.
Or
I think.
you've definitely achieved things in your life that you thought were going to make you happy. Surely there's one thing that you...
Okay, yeah, maybe.
Anything.
Yeah, you're
like
right.
that job, that promotion, that car,
Yeah.
launching a podcast. You
Yeah.
thought that was going to give you a little bit more fulfillment, a little bit more happiness. Has it?
It has.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Fuck, you just got your shit together.
No, I don't. But let me say, with that comes the negatives as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Expand.
Yeah. Well, let's say it's the entire journey that I'm thankful for. Right?
Okay.
Right. I've had some pretty hard times as well. Exactly what you went through, but maybe from a different perspective.
Okay, give me the lowdown.
So it's more like, no, everything you described made sense. Like our education system at the time we were in high school wasn't for you, right? That is completely understandable. Even Einstein said, some people are like fish or birds, right? And then schooling system is for the fish, but you're a bird. I can't remember the saying, like, honestly, I can't remember the saying, but, something along those lines where, the school tries to teach you how to swim, but you're good at flying,
Yep.
as an example.
Yeah.
I'm
a peacock, you gotta let me fly.
So it makes sense. Exactly what you said makes sense. And if you realize it, the education system is what government thinks kids or upcoming adults need to learn for the economy of that society, right? So it's still directed by an entity. Yeah. So, and it's not for... Yeah, it's still contained. It's not free. But that's just agreeing on that level. And the fact that it would have taken you a lot of time, because you've been told since high school you weren't good enough. And then even after that, when you came to a workforce, you thought you weren't good enough because you got rejected 150 times. And it was only after you achieved that you thought your worthiness is there, right? And then you became happy with yourself.
Yeah.
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 Happier.
I
wouldn't say happy with myself as such.
Happier.
But definitely heading towards the right direction.
Yeah. That's good. I think for me might have been the opposite.
Okay.
In the sense that I never thought of my self-worth until my self-worth was brought down to zero.
Okay.
I didn't even realize it.
Okay.
Yeah, like as in my thought of myself went to zero. Yeah, so I can explain a little bit. It's more like
Exactly what I was about to ask you.
when I finished uni, I got a very good head start in my career from a lot of people that supported me, whether they're from the company I worked for or just some of my peers in general. So I got a massive head start, and I never thought much about it. I didn't even know what I was doing. Right? I was like, I have this idea. Here's the plan. This is what we need, and then bang, like 1 year after my full-time grad job, I just did my own thing. It wasn't until literally later on, like I said, when my worth was brought down to zero, and then I look back at everything I did, I'm like, wait a minute. Not many people can do that.
Of course, yeah.
At that age, not many people can do that as well. And then it took me a long time to realize. It wasn't until more recently, actually, before we started the podcast.
Okay.
Right, I started reading my reflections, not the recent ones that I described, writing in my book, but the ones I did during uni.
Wow. Okay.
Right? So
you kept everything.
Yeah, I kept it all.
Wow.
And let me say, when I read what I wrote back then, I'm like, my God, I sound like a scholar. Really? Because I was literally like talking about psychology, philosophy, literally merging everything into one to make sense. I'm just reading, I'm like, did I write that? What? I don't even sound like me right now. Yeah, I'm like, oh damn, I was like that at 23. And then, when I realized, it hit me. It's like, I look at my reflections now, it's nowhere near the same level. I'm just like, what happened to me? So all it tells me is all that time, from the start of my journey all the way to where I hit my lowest point, I didn't even realize, like, because I never had who I am, what did you say? Identity. Because it's related to knowing about who you are, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I never had that moment where I had to think about who I am
Right.
until I got to, like, the very bottom of my mental health. Whereas, so I was like, how to explain it? Because I never thought of that. You can assume I was maybe 100%, like, knew who I was.
Did you though?
Okay.
Because let me
Okay.
challenge you.
No, not 100%. More like, what's the right word? It's like, I'm saying like a lot. It's more, I never thought about identity and my self-worthiness back then at all.
Right.
Like zero.
Understood.
Right? So I was like,
But you're in your early 20s.
yeah, I was
We're
high.
all there.
Yeah. So I never thought about
whether
it.
we're good or not. We're
Yeah.
all there.
Yeah. So I never had that thought at all until I was brought down to zero.
Yeah.
Right? And then I started, looking back at everything I was doing. And I realized, not everyone can do this, or that, or this, or that at the same time, or even just my way of thinking. And it wasn't until then that I slowly realized I'm actually not what I think I am. Because when I was brought to zero,
Yeah.
we had this conversation, right? I was by myself.
They haven't had this conversation though.
Yeah. I was very upset, sad about myself. I'm like, why, even if I tried my best, why do I feel this way? Why do I feel like I wasn't good enough? And exactly what you said, I could have done more. I know I could have done more. But it just wasn't the right environment. Yeah. And here's the thing. Here's the really sad thing. It's like I had all the support. as well from different groups. But all it took was, say, a few bad apples to really bring you down. And my mistake was not realizing that as soon as it happened and stopping it. Yeah. Or just changing my environment. Yeah. So
maybe we need to look at self-worth and identity and maybe environment as an ecosystem. Because we were speaking earlier about toxic relationships or toxic friendships, right? That's all within your realm of your environment that can dramatically impact how you view yourself.
Yeah. Because I started, you know how you had people tell you, you're not good enough, you're not good enough, you're not good enough?
A lot.
Yeah. Whereas I was like, why is this happening? Why is this happening? And then eventually, yeah, exactly like you, except your one happened during high school, right? Started high school or primary school with those chats with the teachers. My one started when things didn't work out and I was getting the blame from whoever, right? Like, yeah, that's when I started to feel like I'm not doing, I'm unworthy of what I want to do, right? Yeah. But imagine that for a really long time. Yeah. And that, you're right, it comes from not knowing who you are. Because once I knew who I was, this was towards the end of my long-ass mental recovery. Once I knew who I was, what I can do, my strengths, my weaknesses, my values, what I want to achieve, nothing has fazed me since then. Not even... So if I recognize it's a wrong environment for me, I leave. I literally leave. They want to know why. I can write an entire email why. Send it to them. And be like...
I want Harvard references.
Yeah. And literally be like, oh, if you don't think this is fair, let's go to court. Right? But I'm out. Yeah. As simple as that. And then I don't even look back or think about it because I learned to recognize it. Whether that's professional life or my relationship. I can recognize it pretty quickly now. Like, I still try my best, but after a certain period, it's like, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Because I'm not making that same mistake where, you know, I'm in the wrong environment for 5, 4, 3 years, and it will bring me down to 0. Yeah, not making that mistake again. So, and how I know... This is the thing. So there's something called arrogance, right? And then... So how do you know whether or not, you know, I'm arrogant where I think I'm right versus maybe the other person or whatever party is saying is true? How do I know the difference? I try to take a balanced approach. I try to see, you know, whether the other party, anything they're saying has merit versus my thoughts of what happened, like reality. And I try to see, all right, which one of us is the more delusional one? No, literally, I'm like, here are the facts, right?
Dude,
No, here are the facts.
You were so, like, placid and, like, professional and level-headed, and you're like, I want to see who's the Lulu.
Like, literally, here are the facts of what happened. Right? Okay. Here is my side and what I know. Yeah. Here's all my communication of what I said. Yeah. Here's all yours. Which one is unreasonable? I take a balanced approach, okay? And I'm like, hey, I've done the best. I literally looked at the other party's side. Nah, he's in the wrong. Like, as soon as I realized that, I'm like, and, you know, say the other party's not taking in my advice or listening to me or we're not dialoguing to resolve a issue, and it's the same issue that repeats for weeks or months, then I can make yeah, that's when what's the right word? Switch modes, and I'll be like, nah.
Okay, so I need examples here because you're sounding very transactional and very robotic in your approach.
I'm not though. Naturally, I'm not.
100%. So I just want to understand that because you're a very logical person. I'm probably more on the emotional spectrum, right? So I want to understand that because then I want to understand how my interactions with someone might have been different based on that. Because we agree in terms of protecting your environment and protecting your boundaries and your self-identity. I agree with everything you're saying. I'm just trying to understand what you mean with how you're handling it because it sounds very transactional. So I want an example.
Transactional. It's more like, or it could be any example. Like I said, whether it's professional or whether it's your relationship with your significant other or even a friendship.
But how are you differentiating between Delulu and not?
Just based on facts, what happened. Literally. Okay. Like, here are the facts. Here's the result. All right. I know I speak the truth. I always speak the truth, right? And if I get it wrong, like I would admit I got it wrong, right? But if I hear the other party, whoever it is, they're not speaking the truth. Like they're making stuff up to save their face, save their reputation, or whatever reason, or whatever reason, and they're not facing the truth. Then I know you can easily tell who's,
Yeah, you're talking about someone lying, and I get it. I know what you're talking about, and I know the context behind it. I guess I'm trying to understand your mentality behind someone impacting your environment.
I'll give you
beyond
examples.
Words, right? Beyond, maybe not beyond words, but beyond the easy stuff of you're lying, I'm not, right? So because you can have two people in a room, you and I, someone could be teaching us something, and you and I hear two different things, right? So,
no, I know what you mean. It's not based on words only.
Yeah, okay.
It's on action.
Okay.
Yeah. It's literally, when I say, look, here's what happened, I consider everything. Their reaction, what they said, what they did. And I literally start, like, because usually my natural side, I don't connect the dots if I don't need to, because it's a lot of effort, right? But if I am forced to make a judgment, I will connect every single dot.
Okay.
Figure it out. And then, like I said, here's the truth. Here's my truth.
Yeah.
Let me hear yours. But if yours isn't the truth, or like that perspective doesn't make sense, doesn't fit what actually happened, doesn't fit with any interaction, then I know you're more delusional than me. Because, there's two truths. There's always two truths, right? But then you want to find the actual truth together. What happened and resolve it. Like I said, friendship, partnership, business relationship, whatever, right? And if I can't resolve it, it's like, I'll have to...
You're just sending someone an email and breaking up with them.
Nah, I'd tell them...
I'm receiving an email in a few weeks. No. What's our camera doing here? It's got a message on there.
You need to tell me when it does that.
Dude, I'm not even looking at the camera. I'm looking at you.
It's okay. It's
right. Does that mean to stop recording?
Yeah, but we've got the mics on.
Yeah. Oh, dude, that's fucking terrible.
It's okay. I do take a balanced approach. So, like I said, I have to be really upset to...
Go into the detail.
Go into all the details.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, I have to be upset or frustrated or something. Something has to trigger it. Like, something big. And I don't mean, if we got drunk, you threw a glass in my head. Like that. Bruh. I understand. We're still friends after that.
Really?
Yeah.
Fucking...
No, but...
We're going out next Saturday. I can't wait.
You're not going to throw shit at my head, right? But, yeah. But if it's something...
Bro, no one's friends with me after that.
But if it's something serious that affects something important to me...
Yeah, okay.
Like my time.
Your time is more important than your head?
Well, my head's... Well, if we throw stuff at each other, it's just for fun, right? Yeah, I'm just saying. But if you waste my time for, like, say, a year or 2 years on whatever...
Yeah.
Then I'm forced to make that
judgment. You got
judgment.
a lot of patience, dude.
No,
I understand.
Yeah. No, my patience has been very short now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
like, but only if I'm forced. Only if I'm starting to question, why is this thing we're doing, or this relationship, or this friendship, why is it not working? Why is it giving me stress? Why is it, draining up my mental capacity when I got more important things to think about?
Yeah.
Right, when it starts reaching that point,
Mm-hmm.
that's when, and if it bothers me, that's when I'll have to solve it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I do take a balanced approach because I'm not judgmental. I definitely know I'm not judgmental. But if I am forced to make a decision based on facts, I'm not afraid to do it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I understand that.
Yeah. Not afraid to action it too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that comes from after you know who you are. Because if you don't know who you are, like you said, you don't know your boundaries, right? You call them boundaries. I call them. Actually, I think it is boundaries. I just didn't know what it was. Honestly, yeah. Once you know that,
Yeah.
yeah, you're in a good place. Because anything that makes you unhappy, you'll know why. You know exactly why, and you can communicate it, right, to whoever, group, party, friend, whatever. And with me anyway, because I have an open mind and I want to see their perspective or their truth.
Mm-hmm.
I'm comfortable having those kind of conversations. Yeah, but I won't say more, but I think I like to be balanced.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. But yeah, everything comes from once you know who you are.
Yeah.
You're right. You're 100% right on that. Yeah. So is it arrogance or confidence? Yeah, I think for me it's confidence only because I know who I am. I know what I can and can't do. I know my limits, although I always try to go beyond my limit.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you know, yeah, exactly what you said. I keep repeating it. When you know who you are, your foundations are like rock solid.
They are.
Yeah. So
They are.
people try to push you, you're not going to budge.
No.
Yeah, no matter what. Even if it costs you $100,000 in court, you won't. You won't budge.
Fuck, that's a sore spot.
I'm not saying how much that's going to cost me, but
Yeah.
say
A little over. Okay, so do you think there's a difference in how we view our self-worth when it comes to, let's call it, the career success spectrum of your life,
I see where you're going.
and when it comes to your love and relationships spectrum, right?
My answer is very simple.
Okay.
They're both the same.
Really?
Yeah. For me, it's both. It's part of life. For me, they're both the same.
Wow.
Exactly. It's like I approach it the same way, and they're both equally important. Or I have the same mental model for both. Yeah. Because I understand where people separate who they are, what they do based on friendship, relationship, and based on their professional. But for me, and I did, Matt, okay, let me tell you a story.
Okay, yeah.
About
Comfortable with it. I'm like crossing my legs and everything.
Okay. Fuck.
I like that. That's giving me the ick signal.
The reason why I'm hesitant, because it has to do with when I was single and I was dating a girl.
Yep.
Years ago. Okay, a couple of years ago. But here is the premise. Like, if you are... it's so hard to explain. If you're acting a certain way or doing things when you're in professional mode,
Yeah.
right? And that's who you want to be professionally, but then you're doing other things, different values, for example, in your personal life that doesn't align with your professional life. right? So you're doing two separate things. You're treating the same situation maybe differently. Who are you really? You know, are you this dude in the professional life, or are you this dude in your relationship life? For me, the reason why they're both the same is consistency, right? Let me give you an example. In your professional life, you might want to portray yourself as trustworthy, right? A professional, get things done on time, someone with integrity,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
But you can fake all of that if you wanted to.
Within the workplace?
Within
or
the
both? I guess we do both.
Let me explain.
Okay.
Yeah, you can fake all that
Mm-hmm.
in the professional or in your personal life.
Yeah.
Right? And the reason why I keep it consistent is because, to me, if you do one thing here, you have integrity, all the good stuff, but in your personal life, you don't follow it with your friends, with your family, then that's not you. Right? It's not consistent.
I don't agree.
Let me
I do
explain.
not agree.
Let me tell you this story.
Okay.
Okay? No one knows this except for the other girl. But she's not gonna.
Hi, other girl.
She'll never come out and say it's her.
Okay.
But let me tell you this. So I don't want to reveal my core values, but obviously one of them is integrity.
Yeah.
What does it mean for me? It means doing the right thing,
Mm-hmm.
even if no one is watching you,
Mm-hmm.
even if you're not required. Right? Keep that in mind. You can do that professionally and in your personal life. All right. Let me tell you this, because you know how I wrote every single day after my reflection my 5 core values, how I'll always follow it, no matter what. This is what happened. So she was in a relationship with someone. Out of nowhere, she broke up. Like, we were seeing each other, but she had a relationship. So I was like, what is this? Okay. Doesn't matter who it is, whatever. Here's the situation. She called me up randomly one night, asking me to come out because we live close to each other. I came out.
We call that a booty call.
Yeah, some people would call that. I came out. She was telling me she's drunk and she's walking there. As soon as she got, we met up, she was stumbling, so she stumbled on me.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I'll skip all the details. We went back to hers, right? And then, because I knew she was explaining why she broke up, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh, okay. Went back to hers. Went back to hers. She's literally in her bed. And I'll, whatever. Right? Not whatever. Just literally.
In more detail than whatever.
Okay. So she was really, really drunk.
Yeah.
When I was in her room, I literally saw photos of her and her ex-boyfriend everywhere. Right? Love heart photos. I'm like, oh, that's nice. And then, no, everything.
I'm going into my shell now.
No, everything, right? But here she is. Everyone will know what,
alcohol does.
Yeah, alcohol does and all that. The thing is, when I saw that, I'm like, and when she described to me why she broke up, it clicked.
Okay.
No, I realized she has either avoidant attachment or anxious avoidant attachment.
Yep.
And whatever argument, she'll run away, right? It clicked to me that
this guy's actually pretty good dude.
No. She has a certain attachment style, and if they argue whatever and she runs away, that's her way of, when she says break up, that's her way of running away from the problem, right? With that ex-boyfriend, the breakup's very fresh, and I knew from that moment, this is her trauma, whatever it is, yeah. See, what happened, as soon as I realized that, I'm like, nah, we're not gonna do, I didn't tell her this. She was already, in bed, lying down. But I literally said...
Come at me.
I literally just carried her to bed, lied her down, put the blanket on.
Did you make her into a burrito type of thing?
And I left.
Okay.
Yeah. That's what I mean by doing the right thing, in your in your personal life. Because if you don't do the right, we have different opinions. If you don't do the right thing in your personal life, how can you ever say you have integrity in your professional life? That's not true.
I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with anything you're saying. All you've just described is that you're a good person. And that you are emotionally intelligent. You have not described to me worthiness, right? And the difference between that in the workplace career success spectrum and within relationships. And we'll get there. But I'm going to challenge you on what you've just been speaking about for the last 5 minutes, okay? Because this really pisses me off. Because I'll give you an example, right? I have ADHD, right? I've done the tests. Not an online test, proper test. That tells me I'm in like the top 10% of ADHD symptoms, right? I'm basically quite strong within the force of ADHD, right? So, someone like me, in a workplace environment, I'm a project manager. So, I constantly have to be doing things that don't come naturally to me as someone with ADHD. They do up into a certain point. So, what I mean by that is that I am extremely good at planning, getting people together, at project managing, right? And what that does to me in my professional life is that I succeed, right? But then in my personal life, things don't go to plan, right? To expand on that, in some of my previous relationships, I have the capability, especially when I adore that person, to plan dates and
I know what you mean. I know
and,
exactly what you mean.
To the T.
Yeah.
And I am super organized.
It's because you love that person.
This is the thing though, right? And I am so detailed and they're like, wow, you're so amazing, you're so organized.
And you're happy to do it as well.
And you're happy to do that as well, right?
I feel you, yeah.
But then, if I'm doing it a lot in my personal life, in my relationships, my work gets impacted because I can't operate at that same level constantly
for both.
In both.
Ah.
So what you just said was bullshit.
No.
For me, because I might be a special case here, but the reason that it really affects me is because I used to get told a lot of the times in my previous relationships that, oh, you used to do this and you used to do that and you used to be so much more thoughtful. And I used to try to explain to them all the time that it's not of anything negative towards them and I haven't lost feelings, or I'm just as loving and I'm just as caring for them. But I just can't operate at that same level in both areas of my life.
At the same time.
At the same time.
Yeah.
Especially, so if I've had a really stressful month at work, don't expect me to be as thoughtful in my personal life.
Because you're recovering.
I'm recovering, right? And I'm sure that's not just for people with ADHD. I'm sure a lot of people come...
It's for everyone.
Yeah.
Literally.
I just feel it more.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So you can understand how much more sensitive I am with that.
Mm.
So I strongly disagree and I strongly challenge you to think about the fact that even though we've completely gone off track from worthiness, you cannot operate at that same level in all aspects of your life, especially if you're the type of person like you and I, where we're striving for more in our careers, right? Whilst the type of people where we can both agree we love, all right? And we also appreciate and this isn't just, this is not just relationships, this is friendships as well.
You're right.
Okay?
Yeah.
Because there are times where I'll constantly be messaging my friends, constantly be making plans, but that's come to a detriment of maybe I've had a very quiet week at work that week, and I'm more on the ball in things that I remember. It could be family as well. Something's not taking up my time, so I'm able to be more present with my family.
Yeah.
Friends, relationships.
You're talking, this is my opinion,
Okay.
you're talking about a balance thing. Not necessarily the two are separate, if that makes sense. It's more balance, because it's more your capacity to give attention to either your work or your relationship or your family. Yeah, it's more of a balancing, not necessarily... Yeah, I do know what you mean though. Like you're saying you can't operate 100% all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. All I've said is you have to be consistent in both.
But you can't.
Or consistent in the terms of
Your values being aligned.
your values being aligned. That was my main point. Yeah. In terms of output and your effort, you're right that it is hard to maintain it.
Mm-hmm.
But it can be done. It can be done. Yeah.
Okay, I appreciate that you've understood.
Yeah, I understood. Yeah. I'm saying it can be done, but you're right. It's very sensitive, if that makes sense. Because if work is super stressful, obviously you'll be looking to de-stress yourself some way, right?
Yes. So you're not going to be planning stuff or doing things in your personal life, whether it's catching up with friends, your relationship, anything like that, family.
Yeah.
You want to switch off. I want to switch off.
Yeah.
So if I'm forgetting things or not doing things, it's not from a lack of caring about my friends or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's purely because I just don't have the mental capacity right now.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. And everyone should understand that. Yeah. But then there are people that don't understand that at all.
You don't have to fucking tell me.
And then it causes an issue. And then even when you communicate that to, say, this other person or other group, it doesn't stick.
No, it doesn't.
And that's when you have issues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So...
You still didn't answer my question.
What was your question?
Okay, let me tell you, I guess...
How does it come back
thought.
to...
Yeah, so this is my thought, right? Personally, I've spoken about how I'm going to struggle, and I'm still struggling with the idea of being happy with how far I've come.
Yeah.
Because I still feel like I haven't done enough and I'm not enough, maybe.
I feel that,
right?
Don't worry. I feel the same.
Within a relationship point of view and how I present myself as a potential partner with someone,
yeah,
and how I've presented myself as a partner in my previous relationships, I feel like pretty down pat.
Oh, like you got that.
Know who I am.
Oh,
know my worthiness within that realm.
Yeah.
I am able to present myself a certain way. I'm able to be that person. I know who I am within a relationship. I know who I am in terms of friendships and my values there, and no one can ever diminish that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Worthiness within career and success.
That's a different story for you.
It's a different story
I
for
see.
me.
Yeah.
So that's where I was getting at with... For me, I look at them as...
Separately.
All these... Yeah, they're like a universe, right? They're little different planets in my life.
Yeah.
And some planets are thriving from a worthiness point of view and a identity point of view, and others are struggling. So career for me and success and being extremely proud of how far I've come and being happy with where I am in life right now. And to be honest, feeling worthy of where I am right now is really a struggle.
I see.
Because I have great friends, and you're one of them. A lot of them will be like, dude, you've got your own house, you've got a great job, you're working on things outside of work, you're fit, you've got great value. They tell me all of these things.
Yeah, your friends are all correct.
But
you still see it half empty.
Yeah, I do. I do.
Yeah.
So I wanted to know your opinion on that and what your thoughts are and maybe what your universe looks like compared to mine. And maybe what your thoughts are on my universe and how I view that.
I see. Yeah. Again, I completely understand. From my universe is all the same. Like all three are the same.
Okay.
and that comes from knowing who you are in each of those fields, or each of those separate universes, you call them. So for me, it's all the same.
Yeah.
That's why in a relationship, this is what I want. I expect a secure relationship. Right? Such a small sentence, but to build that, there's so many things.
Yeah.
Right? A lot of things that maybe not a lot of people know. For example, in a friendship, I know the kind of people I look for and vibe with. Career-wise, I know where I'm headed. I know how difficult it is. Once I did reflect and look back, I actually did quite a lot that I didn't think was an achievement. But if you think about it logically, it's like, yeah, it was pretty hard to do all that.
Yeah.
So I know I'm headed, I'm facing the right direction. I have all the support as well that I need. So I guess that's where my confidence about who I am comes from. It's just knowing my destination, if that makes sense. Yeah.
Do you not look at...
relationship. Yeah, sorry.
No. I was going to say, do you not look at other people, and I shouldn't, but I look at other people that are younger than me, and you've got younger friends, and they're like good on them, and I'm such a... I don't look at them and get jealous. I look at them and I go, well done, I'm so happy for you.
Yeah.
I wish I had that mentality at your age. Because I only started my career, and I was working 12 hours a week at a supermarket.
Yeah.
7 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, I was a deadbeat. And that's because of a lot of unforeseen circumstances and a lot of getting put down.
I understand. Yeah.
But then I look at other people that come into the organisation that I'm working for now, and they're like straight out of university, 21, getting an opportunity of their dreams. And I'm like, fuck, you guys should be so lucky, and you should be so proud of yourselves that you've been able to do this.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I feel like I look at younger people and I'm like, that could have been me, and I could have been so much more further ahead now in life.
Ah, I see what you mean. Yeah.
I could have had a bigger house, or
Elaborate.
business, and just a better lifestyle, and be more successful and feel like I've done more. I feel like I have years to catch up on for those lost years I'm not.
That's how I feel.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, keep going.
Yeah, I feel like I've got years to catch up on. Those years where I let other people tell me I wasn't good enough, and I believed it. And I just, sat on my ass and didn't push myself and didn't chase my dreams when I was younger. Especially that, those probably 18 to 25. Those years there, I really didn't apply myself as well as I could have, as well as I do now. And I feel like I'm just making up for those years. And I'm trying to chase it, and I'm trying to get to where I know I could have been now if I
tried earlier. Yeah, I know how you feel. Yeah. You want my thoughts?
Yeah.
Well, first of all, you worked at a supermarket for 7 years ago, right? Did I tell you I drove a school bus?
No, what?
2 years ago?
2 years ago?
Yeah.
Dude, what?
I told you when I lost everything and I was recovering, right?
Fuck me. No, I didn't know.
Yeah.
Wow, the things you keep to yourself. Yeah.
Yeah. I literally, money frozen, everything.
Yeah.
Nothing. I had nothing. House sold, no home, back to parents'. And yeah, for that time I was quite sad. Some would maybe say depressed. My joints maybe were hurting some days when I woke up. But yeah, it was hard. Like I tried to work. But earning 2K a month and paying the lawyers 4K a month, it's quite, what's the right word? That's like despair.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So
there's no There's no light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah, yeah. It was hard. The reason why I'm telling you is everyone is at different stages of their journey, right? I might have had a massive boost early on in my career, right? But look, in my 30s, okay, I was literally when I was reflecting on it, I got invited. You know how during that time a lot of our friends turned 30, right? I couldn't even tearing up. I couldn't even afford like a proper gift for them at the time. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, crap. I am tearing up because
I'm holding the space for you,
I'm
man.
remembering how I felt. It's like, I'm about to turn 30 or I'm 30, back at my parents'. It's a spare room as well. So it has like bloody
Other shit around it.
like kitty decoration.
Yeah.
And I'm just like lying in bed, like, right?
You feel like you've hit rock bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. My point is everyone will be at different stages.
How was
Of
your
their life.
self-worth during that time?
Yeah, I told you I was recovering. It went from 0, right?
Yeah, how were you feeling? How did your self-worth feel in that moment when you're laying in bed and you got kitty decorations from a small bedroom? How were you feeling in that moment?
Exactly what I said. Sad, depressed. Couldn't make sense of it. Like, what happened? Yeah. It took a long time to recover. But that was the only way to power through it. It's just to recover on my own as well. It's dude, our first episode when I told you I was writing those daily.
I agree with this about being. I get it. It was. Yeah.
Yeah, but like I said, I didn't compare myself against anyone else because I knew it was my own journey, right? I think that's where our difference is. It's like, I know I hit rock bottom. I'm aware. I allowed myself the time to recover mentally, and I was recovering physically as well. And I told myself, I'll go easy on myself. Like, however much time I need, I will give myself that time before I do everything again. Yeah. And I told you, it took me 2 years to literally mentally recover. And in those 2 years, like, I met 2 people, my ex-partners tried to help me recover as well. Yeah. And yeah. Sorry, my point is, doesn't matter what age, right? You can have all the success in your early 20s. You can hit rock bottom in your 30s. Everyone's journey is different. Everyone is at different stages. Doesn't matter what age. Your success and your self-worthiness is essentially defined by yourself. What is your own success, right? If you compare yourself to others and their own journey, everyone's on a different journey, and I'm just saying this bluntly, like, maybe the ones who were applying themselves early on in life, maybe they figured all this out really early on.
Yeah.
Because of their upbringing, because their family instilled these values. Their family guided them when they went through times, or they never experienced those difficult times. They were more free to discover who they are early on.
Mm-hmm.
And they chose to apply themselves because they know it might get harder in the future or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But here's your reality. You didn't know who you were, right? You've been told since high school, you're not worth, you can't do it. Even in your early 20s, you got rejected in all these jobs. You still didn't know your self-worth, right? So you tell me you need to catch up. For me, it's like you took exactly the time you needed to learn who you are, right? And this is your journey here,
Yeah.
Because some people might even take longer. Because I know people in their 40s or 30. Okay, back when I was early 20s, I knew people in the 30s there was still, what's the right word? Playing around. I was gonna say effing around, but they're still playing around. Mid 30s, and then you have someone I knew, in our 20s. We're in the same uni. He was literally working 3 jobs for his family, right? Versus this older guy, playing around, not doing anything. What's the right word? Not doing anything more than he needs to. If that makes sense. Yeah, to just get by. And there is nothing wrong with either one if you think about it. It's their choice. Maybe the guy he'll be 40 now. Maybe he's still learning about what he wants to do. He's still trying to find the passion in his life. Still learning about himself.
Yeah.
Right. It's all different journeys. Yeah. See, because I could easily say this, had I knew what I knew now about myself.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I would have made very different decisions, no matter how hard it was. Yeah.
Hindsight's a beautiful thing, my friend.
Yeah. So but it does highlight the importance of knowing yourself early on. Or not early on, the faster you know, the less... I think let's phrase it properly. The faster you know who you are, or the earlier you know who you are, the easier it'll be for you to navigate through life. When life makes it hard for you.
Yeah. On that note, though, if we both hadn't gone on these journeys, very separate journeys.
You're going to prove my point. Yeah, keep going. Yeah, if we didn't go on these separate journeys, yeah. You're proving my point.
Through the hardships.
Yeah.
Through the letdowns, we wouldn't know as much about ourselves as we do now.
Yeah.
Because it took someone to question my worthiness, and from a relationship standpoint, for me to now know what my worth is and stand by it in a relationship standpoint. It took all of the rejection and naysayers throughout my schooling and early professional career to now where I am now, for me to understand who I am professionally. All the friendships that I've lost, all the people that have come in and out of my life, and more importantly to the friends that I still have that have, one of my best friends, my best friend, we've been friends since we were 5 years old. That's insane. Alright? So there's people that have been in your life, your whole life, that are friends, and people that have come in and out that have taught you what your self-worth is in a friendship setting as well. So all of these life lessons just constantly teach you more and more what your boundaries are, and more about who you are as a person.
Yeah.
And who you want to be as a person as well. Because I think we're still always striving to be a little bit more, and that's okay, that's constantly growing.
Yeah.
You want to strive to be a little bit more closer to your sense of self.
Yeah. To your vision of who you want to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess I agree with you, I do. And maybe a lot of it from a career point of view is just needing to really sit back and appreciate how far I've come.
Yeah.
And maybe just sit down and be excited about how far we can go.
Yeah.
In the right environment and knowing myself a little bit more.
Yeah. I was going to add, because, you didn't prove my point, because I thought you'd lead it to prove my point.
I did not prove this point.
My point was, if you didn't go through what you went through, if I didn't go through what I went through, at the time we wouldn't have reconnected in this manner.
Yeah, no shit. That's fair enough. Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
Like I said.
Dude, how crazy is that? We literally wouldn't have.
That's what I mean. Like, we're
all this wouldn't have happened.
Yeah. That's what I mean. There is no early or late. There is
Yeah.
right now is the right time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I literally sat you down. I was like, dude, my purpose is to help others. I don't know what that looks like. I know that I want to, we should do a podcast, and I want to do a podcast, but I just want to help people. And that's my purpose in life. And it might be a podcast, it might be mentoring, it might be becoming a life coach, it might be a Buddhist monk, I don't know, but I just want to help people.
Yeah.
And you connected with that so well, and our paths has crossed.
Yeah.
And you want to help people as well, and in your way, and it's just crazy that we're here today. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Destiny providing worthiness in its own right.
Yeah. Yeah. Timing is everything as well. So, say if you're at the right time, everything your friend said is true, and all I'm adding is you're at the right time. There is no too late and there is no too early. Yeah. Because everyone's different, we learn at different rates. Our circumstances when we grew up were different. Some people might say they had a head start. Some people might say they had a worse background. And that's the reality, society isn't balanced. It's not fair for everyone. So everyone's on their own journey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a moment last week where I was driving home from work and it was bucketing down with rain, and I saw like 5 people at a bus stop.
Yeah.
And our bus stops suck.
Yeah.
It's just like
small.
Yeah, and like if the wind's going in the right direction, like everyone in that bus stop's getting wet regardless of whether they're under the shelter or not.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I'm just driving home, warm, dry in my car.
Yeah.
And these poor people have to take a bus home. Like, I should be so much more grateful and so much more proud of where I am.
Yeah.
Just from that small factor.
The reason I laughed is like, this sounds like, what's it? First world problems
Yeah.
sort of thing.
Yeah.
And then it's like, it took you that to realize what you had. Just like...
No, I mean, obviously there's so much more out there.
Yeah, I know.
But
yeah.
And it's not that I sound so shallow when I say this. It has nothing to do with, I have so much empathy and so much love for people around me.
I think it's just being aware, I guess. You reckon?
It's more self. Like, it's more, I'm just not happy with where I'm at. Right? And so it has nothing to do with not appreciating, how am I wording this?
I know, I got it, don't worry.
I'm not like thinking I'm better than anyone else or anything like that.
I got it. You're harsh on yourself.
Yes, completely harsh on myself. Completely, utterly harsh on myself.
Because everything you're describing is how I feel about myself as well. I'm pretty harsh on myself. Yeah. Like, there is no other person more harsh on myself than myself.
No, I just want, dude, at work, right? People are, in the workplace, how some people can't take on feedback.
Yeah.
Some managers are afraid to give feedback to people just in case they're like, no, that's not fucking me. They get like very defensive. I love feedback. I seek feedback.
Yeah.
I sat down a executive manager 2 days ago and I was like, hey, how do you think I'm performing in this area, right? Love it. But that's because I'm like harsh on myself and I'm trying to like learn and improve more and improve more.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
So I don't mind. I completely agree. I'm very harsh on myself, and
as long as you're self-aware of that, you can balance it out. Yeah, you don't have to feel sad all the time. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not sad. I don't know what it is. It's not sad. Like, I'm not like depressed. Like, dude, got a roof over my head. I'm happy.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not sad. It's like I could be doing more.
Yeah.
That's all it is. I need to be more proud. I need to be more proud. Yeah.
You gotta rewatch this podcast and re-listen to everything I just said about Now's the right time. You are where you are. This is the correct time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to think where that thought came from. For me. Because it definitely came from when I was recovering. Yeah. Nah. It did. Definitely did. Because I was, like you said, when you were pushing trolleys, I was driving school bus.
Yeah.
Right? And that's how I recovered. I literally had to tell myself, hey, it's, life is just a lesson.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know?
An expensive lesson.
Yeah. One that costs time if you don't recover fast enough.
Yeah. That's the thing as well, dude. Time, man. Like, I know you're talking about this is the right time and all of that, but fuck, dude. Like, time's getting away from us as well. I know we're young, but I feel like all the people watching our podcast being like, don't fucking complain, dude. I cough and get a backache.
Who says we don't?
I don't.
Yeah.
But, yeah, time's getting away from us.
Yeah. That's why, it's a common saying, don't live in the past, don't live in the future, live in the present, enjoy the journey.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Fucking have my coffee. Alright. Well, that's it. I think we've pretty much wrapped this up.
Okay.
What do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's important to know who you are as early as you can. So that means, what does that mean? That means try everything when you're young.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah.
Literally.
All drugs.
I'm gonna say no comment. Right? Like, you and I have different views. No comment from me. But yes, try everything. Yeah. It's as simple as that. Just don't hurt yourself.
I'm gonna get us cancelled.
Don't hurt yourself in the process.
Yes, of course. Well, this is my philosophy.
Or hurt and learn the hard way.
I mean, if you get hurt and you learn the hard way, that's fine. But I've always had this perspective. Well, actually not always. So I used to be very selfish when I was very young. And I had this mentality of try everything, do everything, have fun.
Yeah.
It's all life experience. I only get one life.
YOLO. Yeah.
YOLO swag nation for days. Yep. But there was no boundary. And what I mean by that is that if other people were at the detriment of that,
yeah.
I didn't.
You
Not
didn't
that I didn't care, but I think there was a lack of care.
Yeah, lack of empathy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then I started this new rule where it's like, I always put this caveat now. Do whatever you want.
Just don't hurt others.
Don't hurt others.
Yeah. Good one.
Don't hurt others.
Yeah. And don't hurt yourself. You should put another caveat on it. Just...
Maybe like, I mean, fuck, character building, let me tell you. Look where we've got it.
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to make bad decisions even when you think you're going to make the right decision.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
You could, at the end of the day, you've made a decision a lot of the time with the information that's presented in front of you at that point in time.
Agreed.
And you've gone, this is the best course of action.
Agreed. Yeah. And you only knew what you knew.
Exactly.
At the time.
And that could fucking blow up in your face.
Yes. And we talked about this in our previous episode of... What was it? Why... You can say it. Why we do dumb...
Why do I do dumb shit?
Yeah.
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 So there's just, a nice little plug into there. Yeah. Just don't hurt others.
And yourself. When you experiment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's it. Thank you for joining us today, guys. I really appreciate it. I think this is a fucking great conversation. And please, if you feel like we need to expand on this more...
Expand on more? I'm pretty sure we went deep, didn't we?
I reckon we can go deeper.
Deeper? Alright. We can go deeper.
We can go deeper.
Yeah. I need more coffee.
You've got one right in front of you, dude. We can go deeper. Ask us questions in the comments below. Like, subscribe, comment. You know what you need to do. Share our content, share the love, and thank you for joining us at Stavs Law.